Hello guys, this is the Subsequent Gamer, which is an appalling name, I understand that, for what I'm going to talk about today. But I'm basically going to have a chat to you about the Six Nations, the upcoming Rugby 2012-13 season Rugby Six Nations. Final weekend, Super Saturday, coming on tomorrow. Looking forward to it, can't wait. Going to be spending a day in the house, basically locking, or I might spend it over the rugby club with all the boys. Um, Basically, here are the fixtures and the venues for tomorrow. The weekend starts off at 2:30. With Italy versus Ireland in the Stadio Olimpico. And then at 2.5 hours later, 5 o'clock. Was that an hour and a half later? I can't. No, it's 2.5 hours later. I am right. It's Wales versus England in the my air quotes are going title decider, which I guess it is, but I don't want to put that much scrutiny on it, and you'll see why in a second. And then you have France versus Scotland in really what is uh, a must-win match for France. If France don't win that match, then I don't know where French rugby goes from there. I mean, it's a really appalling season for them with no wins so far in the championship. But here's why I didn't want to call it a title decider. If Wales had beaten Ireland on the first day of the season, on the first day of the Six Nations, all those weeks ago now, then I would like to call this the biggest clash that England and Wales have had in years. Wales really have to pull out the stops. England have so much less pressure on them going into this match, I feel. Although they didn't perform well against Italy last weekend, I still feel as if there's a lot less pressure on them. Because, I mean, Italy have been a really, really strong outfit this season. Um, they had one really, really poor match against Scotland. But other than that, their defence has been outstanding. And England just couldn't break down our defence, which is very, very encouraging for the Welsh, as they haven't conceded. They have the lowest, second lowest points conceded. No, it's third lowest after England and after Ireland. Um, really, Wales' defence has been stronger than it seems in the table for me watching all the games. Wales' defence has been extremely strong, and they really do deserve this Six Nations, if I'm honest. Starting on week one, when Wales played Ireland, I would have said we were looking at, if we go on the first half performance, I would have said Wales are looking at wooden spoon territory this season, considering that I think they went 11 games without a win. The autumn internationals had been a very, very poor showing from Wales, losing all their games, including Samoa and Argentina. They improved throughout the series. Desperately unlucky not to get the win against Australia, which I attended that game. And one thing I want to address is the importance of England's performances from a Welsh perspective. I can't remember the score, but at halftime we got a news update while I was walking to go to the toilet, from Twickenham when England were playing New Zealand, and the score came through and England were smashing New Zealand, and it was just, first there was just a gasp from the entire stadium. You could hear it, just unreal. I've never heard anything like it. And then there was just silence for 2 or 3 seconds while people just contemplated the fact that the world champions, the best team in the world, the unbeatables really, that they weren't being called, but they seemed unbeatable, were just being annihilated by a strong, strong England team. And I have to admit, this is one of the best England teams I have seen since 2003 when they won the Rugby World Cup. I don't feel it is as strong as that 2003 team. I mean, Owen Farrell is a very, very good 10. I don't think he rivals Johnny Wilkinson, but that's like saying the next Barcelona striker is going to rival Lionel Messi. It's such a tough role to live up to, because Johnny Wilkinson was one of the most outstanding players that has ever graced the rugby field. But Owen Farrell has done such a good job in filling that role. They've had a few hit and misses with their number 10s after Johnny Wilkinson. He really left the scene because his performance has deteriorated. He's still an amazing player, but he is not as good as he was back in 2000, from 2000 to 2003, which was his heyday. Realistically, the England centres are outstanding. Whoever they put in there, they're probably going to start with either Brad Barrett or Billy 12 Trees at 12. And Manu Tuilagi is more or less a shoe-in at 13. The weaknesses I can point out in the England team at the minute, just one major weakness is, I think it's Mike Brown, their number 11, who they're going to be starting with. He is not a player that gives you confidence when you see him on a team sheet. You've got a player like Chris Ashton on the other wing, who I don't like. I don't like him personally. I don't like the way he acts on the field. I don't like the way he throws his success around on the field to other players. But he is an outstanding player. I will grant him that. But on the other wing, where you've got Mike Brown, and then you'll have George North up against him. Now, George North hasn't done much. He scored that brilliant try against France, and he set up Richard Hibbard's try against Italy. But apart from that, he's been well marshalled this year by excellent wingers. On Saturday, Mike Brown is not an excellent winger. I'm just going to put that out there. I'm not sure if anybody else will disagree with me, anybody else will agree or disagree with me. I'm sure there won't be many people who will do both. But I personally don't think he is a good winger. He's done nothing this year that's filled me with confidence. That's filled anyone with confidence, really. I've never heard anyone talk about him. I've never heard anyone say that he deserves to have his England shirt. But who else have you got to fill it, really? I want to quickly move on to the other matches and just move back to the other matches and focus on my results for them. I'm really an optimist when it comes to Italy. Italy, for me, have played very well this Six Nations, one of their best Six Nations, even though they've only won once. They did have that poor game, which I've mentioned before, against Scotland, but they have been outstanding this year in my eyes. Their performance against England, they were desperately unlucky not to come out of there with a win, even though there's 7 points difference. And as a Welsh person, for me, that performance was outstanding. Luke McQueen's try was excellent, and all in all, it was just an excellent day for the Italians. Unlucky not to come out with a win, as I said, but I feel they will come out with 2 wins this year, and I feel they will beat Ireland. Really, Ireland have played well once, and that was their win against Wales, but that performance was only for 45 minutes. And apart from those 45 minutes, I've not seen one day where they've played well at all. They against England, they didn't play well. Neither did England. Against Scotland, Scotland defended their hearts out. But I still feel that Ireland should have beaten them. Then against France, the draw, they should have come out there with a win. France will beat Scotland in my eyes. France have been on. I don't know. They sort of plateaued right at the start of the season, where they played poorly against Italy, played poorly against Wales, played poorly against Ireland, and played a bit better against England. In all fair, before that they played a bit better against England. In all fairness, really, France won't win the wooden spoon. Ireland may do. I'm not sure of the actual rules for the wooden spoon, whether they have to lose all matches or whether it's just the team that finishes bottom. But Ireland may finish bottom this season, even though they have got that win and that draw. Sorry, I just hit my mic. And finally, the match that you've all been waiting for my opinion on, the Wales and England match. I feel Wales will win, but I don't feel they'll win by enough. I feel Wales by 3 or 4 points, and they'll give England a real scare. I just hope. I haven't really spoken too much about Wales in this. It's really been more about the other teams. A quick note on Wales: their danger men are obviously their wingers Cuthbert and George North. I feel Jonathan Davis is a real danger in that outside centre position. Our scrum is a very, very strong outfit. Lineouts have been gradually getting better. I just hope that everything will work out for Wales on the day. If they do win, it will be by 3 or 4 points. But we can all live in hope as Welsh. If we are Welsh, if any of you out there are Welsh, we can all live in hope that we will get those 7-8 points that we need to win the game.